Winfrey Daniel Okolo, and welcome back to Pageant Academy. So right here on Pageant Academy, what we do is talk about all things pageantry. We also drop tips, hacks, and everything a young lady in her own lane who wants to kill it with whatever she's doing needs to know about just living life in this day and in this time, right? I do that all from my own personal experiences and from probably the books I've read, so make sure you do follow. Once and again, we also have tips that can help everybody, whether male or female. Like not too long ago, I was talking about self-introduction, and we actually dropped a template that could help you introduce yourself anywhere you actually find yourself. So do check that out also, okay? And check out our other videos, please. Thank you. Today, what I'll be doing is that I'll be continuing with my series of oral presentation and diction, right? Because last week I took a little detour to talk about international pageants participation, because we had amazing people representing us in different parts of the world, and it was just amazing. And of course, people preparing to represent us, so I felt the need to do that video just to put it out there for them and all of that. So check that out too. It was quite insightful and interesting. So today I'll be continuing my series on diction and oral presentation, and I'll be talking about media interactions, essay development, which is your pet project, and of course personality establishing speech. Okay, so let me take it upside down. Let me start with personality establishing speech. What is personality establishing speech? This simply means a speech that you use to establish your personality and establish your persona at a pageant or anywhere you find yourself. It's very similar to self-introduction, right? But at this point, you get to share more about yourself, probably maybe go a little bit more into details, or probably get to use graphics and all of that to help yourself out. For instance, now when you're going for international pageants, a lot of international pageants actually ask for introduction videos, right? Introduction videos now have to do with self-introduction and a mix of personality establishing. Why? Because when you introduce yourself, you just talk about yourself, your family, and this and that, right? But when you're establishing your personality, you're trying to pass a better and a stronger message across to people who are watching the video or hearing you speak about the kind of person you are. So now, graphics will help, the colors that you decide to use will help, the outfits you decide to use, the ambience you decide to use, all that will also help in delivering that persona you're trying to communicate to people, right? That is why I always advise, when you're asked to send in a self-introduction video for an international pageant, try to be natural. I don't mean like natural like no makeup, just try to be natural. Try to use sceneries of nature, probably a beach or a park or greenery or somewhere that can draw emotion and pull emotions from people. People tend to connect more with nature because we are all human beings and we're all natural human beings, all right? So it's good to use things like that. So for personality establishing speeches, you definitely need to have strong points, right? You might actually not even need to introduce yourself like the way you normally do, actually, if you're on stage and they ask you to talk about something you're very passionate about. That also can play a major role in your personality establishing speech. Why? Because people tend to know what you're super passionate about, right? So there's that. So now with that, I will suggest you do more research on that. Think of how to establish your characters more, your personalities more, right? If I was to do a personality speech, I would definitely add my love for pageantry. I'll add my love for my country. I'll probably add what irks me the most about my country, or what irks me the most about things that are happening in the world. Just a more in-depth view of yourself that people don't just see on the surface. That thing that just makes you different and makes you stand out, that is probably more serious and can just establish your personality more. That's what I would say a personality establishing speech is. If you have any questions with this, or if you're confused about anything, do feel free to ask questions in the comment section, okay? It is similar to self-introduction, but it's just deeper than self-introduction in summary, okay? Moving quickly on, I'll talk next about PetProject, which is essay development. A lot of pageants will definitely ask you for pet projects, even locally. right? Because every pageant will want to know that, okay, fine, the girl we're going to crown has something in her head that she's passionate about and she wants to actually pursue for the year of her reign. A lot of girls believe that it's the responsibility of the organization to actually give you a pet project to pursue. In some cases that happens, very rarely. But then again, I will honestly be totally more pumped to pursue something I'm more interested and passionate about than what any organization else throws at me. And that is why organizers literally give you the opportunity to develop something on your own before you come to camp and then present it. Then that also adds to the accumulation and selection of your queen. Some might give you topics to talk about, some may give you topics to talk about, some may actually give you themes and what to use in. Sometimes I remember when I was going for Miss Nigeria, it was Green Girl and all of that. We had to come up with projects that were centered around that. So what I've noticed is that no matter what your pet project is, if you have a theme for it and it's kind of different, it throws you off. Honestly, if you think about it properly, you can route your personal passions to that pet project. I honestly believe so. If you doubt me, give me an example down. Give me 2 examples of things that you think cannot flow, and let me find a way to put it all together for you. You'll be amazed. When selecting a pet project, I would suggest that you do something that comes naturally to you, something you have an intentional and a genuine passion for. Don't do something because somebody else is doing it. It doesn't work like that. What's good for the goose may not be good for the gander. All right. So just think of it, everything you need to think about it. All right, think about what you really are about. But then again, some are no-brainers. For instance, you're going for Miss Earth. Miss Earth always have projects that have to do with the environment. All right, so it'd be good for you to tailor something around that and all of that. Then again, if you have something naturally for children and sick children or poor and hungry children, and we're talking about the environment, you can always link environmental care to the children falling sick, because we know desert environments breeds insects, right, and breeds diseases and all of that. You clearing up the environment, you obviously have taken care of children indirectly. Okay, so just find a way to connect what you're passionate about with the theme of the organization you're going for. That's if they give you a theme to work with. All right, if they don't give you a theme to work with, feel free to elaborate on that passion you have. Think about it. There's something everybody is connected to. There's something that you like that has a charity angle and ambit to it. For instance, when I was MBG and tourism, my charity or my pet project wasn't about giving to the poor or buying things for the poor. That seems like something like cliche that anybody wants to do, right? But what my project was going to companies and going to Nigeria brands, local brands in Nigeria, putting them on TV, therefore promoting their locations and bringing them more customers. Also to go to other countries and then take Nigeria, the idea of Nigerians, our vibe, our entertainment, our lives to those countries. All right, or also spotlights on Nigerian businesses around the world. That was my personal pet project. That didn't do with any that didn't have to do with any less privilege and all of that. It was just helping. So in the end, your charity doesn't have to be focused on feeding children or clothing less privileged and all of that. It could be something that you just do, but it's not money oriented. That's totally what a pet project is about. So for me, that was it. I was going to businesses, going to tourism businesses or tourist sites and tourist destinations, making Nigerians and the whole world more aware of these locations, and then therefore driving more traffic that way in my own little way. So that is what a pet project would be like. An example when it comes to pet project that I really think I can use to portray this point is the Girl Power Foundation. It was actually formed by Emanuela Yabo, now Mrs. Akins. All right, she started Girl Power Foundation as MBG and ECOWAS, and it was totally just dedicated to the girl child. She was helping the girl child in every way she possibly could, from giving out clothes to giving out money to giving out books to giving out pads and padding the girl, to giving out knowledge, information, helping girls out with their modeling desires, putting them in an ushering group, just so much directed to the girl child. So that is also another example of a project that is super solid and not just one dimensional. Okay, so you can also look at that to draw inspiration. Just sit down and think about what you love to do and how you like to help people out there. Moving, finally, I'll be talking now about media interviews, media interactions, from social medias to media like TV, radio, and all of that, right? The first rule is that there is no rule. When you have a media interview to go for, prepare yourself. You're a beauty queen. There is a stereotype that beauty queens are pretty and on the inside they don't have much. But then again, I'm so proud that for the longest time now, a lot of girls have trashed that perception and that idea of beauty queens, right? You don't want to create it back. So please, when you're going for an interview, a media round, make sure you're well knowledgeable on what you're going to be asked. There is no crime in asking them, please, what area are you going to talk about? Are you going to talk about me? Are you going to talk about me winning the pageant? Are you going to talk about things that happened around? I need to know, all right? There's no problem asking. Don't be afraid. Don't be shy. You already look pretty. You now need to talk pretty, all right? So ask that question. If there's a little gray area here and there, go on the internet, do your research, prepare properly before you go for it. And another thing is, don't be scared. A lot of girls are scared. A lot of girls get nervous. A lot of people, not even girls. I've had the opportunity, thank God, of hosting like thousands of people on interviews, and it's always an interesting one because a lot of people get so nervous because they're really conscious of what they're saying. They're conscious of what the perception their brand has to viewers out there. As I said before about dealing with nervousness, number one, anybody who puts in that position that time will be scared. Number two, the person that's interviewing you is also kind of nervous because the person doesn't want to flop her interview session with you. Most probably are. Even if they're really experienced, they might be. I will tell you for free, I do get nervous when I have to interview people. So the same way the person is nervous, I'm also nervous. So we are all nervous. So it's a normal thing. So don't be carried away by nervousness. It's normal and comes to everybody. Just rise above it. Direct that energy, that nervous energy, into perfecting what you have to say. Okay? Don't be scared of mistakes. Welcome them. If they come, laugh about your mistake and move on. As long as something genuine, as long as you're not just saying something stupid, right? If you don't know something, they ask you a question as a beauty queen, or if they ask you a question you do not want to reveal, there is no gun to your head. Simply say, I'll rather remain silent. Simply say, can I please pass on that question? Simply say, okay, I'd rather not answer that. Just say it and laugh about, oh, I'd rather not answer that. Or, oh, wow, okay, I didn't know you were going to come that way. Can you answer that question? Just find a way to just go around it. Play pretty, play cute, all right? Don't answer that question if you know it's a question you genuinely don't want to answer. For instance, let me give you an example. If you go somewhere and they ask you, are you single? Maybe you have a boyfriend, but your organizer doesn't want you to have a boyfriend. There's some organizations like that. And you don't want to say it, or you have a boyfriend, there's one fine boy in the studio that is still seeing you, and you literally don't want to put it out there. You don't want to spoil your market on all national TV. I'm not saying do that though. Just simply laugh about it and say, I'm not married. That's what I literally say when people ask me, are you single? It's just a way of saying, like, a business. Do you see a ring on my finger? No, you don't. I'm not married. And all of that. So if actually, are you in a relationship? I'd rather not reveal that. Honestly, there is no rule. They ask you any question you're not comfortable answering, they ask you any question you're not sure about, you can say, I'm not sure about this, and all of that. I'd rather not answer. Or not on pageant stage, not on stage. I'm talking about media rounds. They ask you a question on stage, you go and say you are not sure about it. Or they ask you a question on stage, you go and say, I'd rather not answer that question. You are on your own. Don't say it's Winfrey that told you. No, please. So during your media rounds, when you go to TV stations and radio stations, be yourself. You don't want to trend for weird reasons. You don't want to trend for having a fake accent, all right? So just be yourself, answer the question, go home, everybody's happy, all right? If you have any more questions on these particular topics, please do comment them in the comment section and I'll definitely answer you. That is why I'm here. Thank you so much for always sticking here with me. Please like, please comment, please share, please subscribe, okay? And I'll see you again next week Friday. Bye.